Edge-to-edge displays might be the talk of the town right now thanks to the iPhone X, but as anyone with even a passing interest in the smartphone industry would know, Apple's newest flagship is not the first smartphone to embrace this design. That feather belongs in the cap of Xiaomi, which released the Mi Mix last year as a concept smartphone. So how does Xiaomi's second take on the trend it kickstarted perform in the real world? Let's find out in our review of the Mi Mix 2. Just like its predecessor, the Mi Mix 2 has done away with the forehead almost entirely, which means the selfie camera had to be moved to the bottom of the display. However, unlike the original Mi Mix, Xiaomi has managed to find space for a tiny earpiece just above the display, and the chin at the bottom is noticeably smaller too. The rear camera is surrounded by an 18-karat gold-plated decorative rim, giving the phone a very distinctive look. Below, you will find a fingerprint scanner, while a dual-tone flash sits to the right. The Mi Mix 2 does away with a 3.5mm headphone socket, but you get a USB Type-C port at the bottom. A Type-C to 3.5mm adapter is bundled with the phone. In the retail box, you also get a back cover for the Mi Mix 2, a quick charge 3.0 charger, a USB Type-C cable, a SIM eject tool, and some documentation. Like other Xiaomi phones, there are no earphones in the box, and interestingly, the bundled Type-C to 3.5mm adapter did not work with other smartphones including the Nexus 6P, Nokia 8, and even the HTC U11. The Mi Mix 2 has an aerospace-grade aluminium alloy frame and a ceramic backplate that's curved on all four sides. This gives the smartphone a really nice premium feel, though the back is a fingerprint magnet. Xiaomi has switched to a 5.99-inch 18:9 screen on the Mi Mix 2, which makes the smartphone a lot easier to handle. The 1080 by 2160 pixel display has a 1500:1 contrast ratio and supports the DCI P3 color gamut. You also get features like sunlight display and reading mode. The screen itself offers vibrant colors with good contrast and brightness, even outdoors. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2 is powered by the Snapdragon 835 SoC, and it comes with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of non-expandable internal storage. There's dual nano SIM slots, though 4G can be active only on one SIM at any given time. The smartphone also supports VoLTE. The Mi Mix 2 proved to be a reliable workhorse for all day-to-day tasks, and we didn't experience any performance-related issues at any point in time. Games such as Asphalt 8 and Breakneck ran flawlessly, and the phone did not get warm even after extended gaming sessions. The benchmark scores were pretty similar to those of other Snapdragon 835 powered smartphones. Initially, we thought accidental touch inputs would be a big problem given the edge-to-edge nature of the display, but with everyday use, this fear turned out to be unfounded. The apps that we tried scaled correctly to the 18:9 display on the Mi Mix 2 without any issues. While watching 16:9 videos in landscape mode, you will notice tiny black bands to the left and right. You can choose to go full screen at the cost of cropping a bit of the content from the top and bottom. Call quality was decent, and the tiny earpiece performed satisfactorily during phone calls, addressing a complaint many had with the original Mi Mix. The mono speaker gets sufficiently loud, but cannot, of course, match the audio fidelity of a stereo setup. The Mi Mix 2 has a 3400 mAh battery, which performed great in our HD video loop test. It lasted just a shade under 13 hours of continuous video playback. Our real-world experience was equally good, with the smartphone easily lasting over 1.5 days of medium to heavy usage. The phone runs on MIUI 8.5 out of the box, which is built on top of Android 7.1.1 Nougat. Common features found in other Xiaomi smartphones include dual apps, a customizable one-handed mode, and support for gestures, such as one that lets you swipe down with 3 fingers to take a screenshot. The Mi Mix 2 has a 12-megapixel rear camera with 4-axis optical image stabilization and the ability to record 4K video at 30fps. You also get a slow motion mode that can record at 120fps but is limited to 720p resolution. The front camera has a 5-megapixel sensor but no flash, not even the variety where the display lights up to brighten up the shot. Images shot using the rear camera outdoors looked alright on the phone, but upon closer examination on the PC, we found that they appeared overexposed and lacked the amount of detail that you'd expect from a phone in this price range. At times, objects weren't properly in focus too. Images shot in low light exhibited similar characteristics. Even selfies taken outdoors appeared overexposed and whiter than expected. We're not sure if this is a result of the beautification features kicking in. The Mi Mix 2 is the first premium smartphone that the company has launched in India since the Mi 5's lukewarm reception. It gets a lot right. The phone has a head-turning design, a great display, fantastic battery life, and excellent performance. Xiaomi also has a decent track record of eventually delivering software updates, though they don't quite follow Google's update cycle. Our only real gripe is with the cameras. The placement of the front camera is awkward, and we would have been willing to forgive that if its performance was great, but sadly, that isn't the case here. If your primary use case will be sharing pictures on Facebook and Twitter, then the Mi Mix 2 might serve your purpose well. Though, if you're looking for a better camera in a more traditional package, then you should give the Honor 8 Pro a look. So that's it for our review of the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.